Well, today we're inside of a 2022 Acura MDX doing a long-term review. And in case you're wondering what the mileage is, we're going to call it 65,000 because it is right around the corner. This is the A-Spec SH all-wheel drive. Some of the first things you'll notice when you get inside of this car is the beautiful red leather interior, very comfortable seats, beautiful stitching, lots of attention to detail. It is powered by Honda's tried and true 3.5 liter V6, making 290 horsepower, 267 pound-feet of torque. Which means it can go from 0 to 60 in a very respectable time. It has tons of space. We got 2 car seats in the back of this car right now. It does seat 7 passengers, no problem. And after a whole pile of mixed driving, we are knocking down 20 miles to the gallon on the button. Cruising this thing today on a very windy day, you don't really notice much wind noise inside the vehicle, and it is extraordinarily comfortable to drive. The steering wheel has a nice firm grip on it. There's lots of nice spots to hold depending on how your driving style is. It has a phone charger on board. Absolutely power everything as you would come to expect. Very very ergodynamic in this area, which is also nice. And at this point, Acura's famous touchpad, which you either love it or you hate it. Although I have definitely become a fan of this feature. And it has an absolutely banging 16 speaker, 710 watt stereo. And if you kind of grew up with hardcore car audio back in high school like I did, you know that those are pretty good numbers, and that's a really reasonable stereo in this thing. You've got all the regular ventilated, heated seats, whichever you want. Heat on the steering wheel as well. And just about every creature comfort that your mind can imagine, as this is essentially a fully loaded Acura MDX. You've got all kinds of driving modes to play with: sport, normal, comfort, snow. You get the cool little dash light up here to let you know that you're in sport, doing some sporty stuff. You can also change the gauge cluster if you so choose. Very simple. A little bit of a different setup. It has a 10-speed push button automatic, which may or may not annoy you, but I think it's great. The bottom of the steering wheel is squared off, which I also really like. Now I'm 5'10"-ish, and there is a lot of headroom for someone that is significantly taller than me. I would also venture to say that it's important to note that the 3.5 Honda engine that is in this Acura has been in Honda's arsenal for a very, very long time. So this is a very reliable powertrain in this car. I could say car, SUV, sorry. But you are not going to have to worry about any kind of crazy things happening like a lot of new vehicles that have new turbo setups, new transmissions, new everything, essentially. This is a tried and true engine. Now, of course, the part everybody wants to know: 65,000 miles of driving, mixed highway and city, but mostly open road driving. This thing has cost $0 in, I don't want to say maintenance, but nothing crazy has happened. And of course, the vehicle still has warranty, so it wouldn't really be an issue anyway, other than wearable parts such as, brakes and whatnot. However, 65,000 miles, this car has still not got a single extra penny other than oil changes and the like. No brake change yet, no wheel bearings, no funny stuff that the dealer did have to check out and replace. So what are the pros and cons of ownership of an Acura MDX, which is their large SUV 7-seater, versus the RDX, which only fits 5? The most obvious pro is that it is a very, very easy on the eyes vehicle. This is a very nice looking vehicle. Trust me, it gets a lot of attention anywhere you go. Through essentially 65,000 miles of use, it has been 1,000,000% reliable with 0 issues. In fact, I could kind of just go on and on about all the pros of owning this vehicle, because so far, it's pretty awesome. It's got enough acceleration to keep you happy, passing power for days, You can pull a small trailer if you really felt necessary. The all-wheel drive system is great. I've got nothing but good to say about this Acura. Which brings me to the cons. And in case you haven't really been paying attention, there really aren't any that I can think of other than it's a little bit on the pricey side compared to most other vehicles, but in its class, it is very competitively priced. Yes, it is going to cost you more than a Chevy Traverse, but if you sit in a Chevy Traverse and then sit in the Acura MDX, you're going to understand why in about 0.5 seconds. Your resale will be better. Again, I don't want to just sprout off on all these pros of owning this vehicle. So I can leave you with some very simple stuff. If you are even thinking about buying an Acura MDX, go and get it.